Today I have another first impressions get ready with me video. I had a lot of fun filming the last one with the Voss Flamingo palette and the Glamingo face palette, and today I'm going to be focusing on the Dominique Cosmetics Lemonade palette. So excited. I received this one in the mail yesterday and I just knew. I knew I had to use this as soon as possible. I'm going to do first impressions on camera and then I will do a follow-up review. Ideally, I will be doing 3 looks with this palette, but I also want to do 3 looks with the Voss one. So I have a lot on my plate, but I'm just loving these palettes. They're so inspiring for summer. They're perfect for summer, so it's not like I'm gonna have that much trouble coming up with the looks. I just have to take the time to like film it and edit it and put it all together. So that's the issue. I am definitely going to do a follow-up review, if not 3 looks with this palette. But I am just so excited to dip into this palette. So like I said, it's going to be a get ready with me. My skin is primed, my eyebrows are on. I also did prime my eyelids and set my eyelids, same as I usually do. So they have a little bit of powder on there to get it started. That's usually what I do. And I think we're ready to jump right in. Alright, I got you zoomed in. There's a lot that's inspiring me in this palette, but I think I gotta start with these yellows and see where that takes me. I really want to go in with the blue too. The swatches, I swatched it yesterday and the swatches are just so beautiful. I'm gonna start with Mango. This is exactly how I started my look yesterday with the Voss palette. I used a yellow. I don't know what it is. It's just a summer color and I'm drawn to it. But I will make sure that this look is not the same as that. Now I'm going to take the shade Nude Tea and kind of mix that in with Mango. I'm going to put that up here on the brow bone and just kind of blend them together. And I get the feeling that you could easily lighten up Mango to make it a lighter yellow if you mixed it in with Nude Tea, which is really cool. Now I'm going to take the shade Sweet Tea, put that in here. Oh, this is a really pretty summery orange. It's not as dark as it looked. I think these 3 matte shades look really dark in contrast with the other shades in the palette, and even like the palette itself, like the coloring of the palette. They look so dark and I think that threw a lot of people off, but this orange in particular, the Sweet Tea shade, it's a really nice summer shade. I think this would be really pretty all over the lid or in the crease. I don't think it's too dark. Okay, now let's go right in with Lemon Soda. This is the shade that I am so interested in. It's a lot more yellow than I thought it was going to be just from the pictures, so I was very, very happy about that. It is a lemonade palette, so we need some yellows. Okay, let's do this. Oh, this brush is like getting it everywhere, but it's pretty. It is light. It is very light. This brush is not working for it. Okay, let me get a different brush. That's really pretty. Very vibrant and bright. I do want to try wetting my brush and putting that on just to see how that goes, because I feel like it's looking a little powdery and uneven, and spraying my brush might help that. Oh yeah. Now it's getting like cakey. Okay, I don't know if you can see that, but it like caked up. Could be because I just applied too much. So let's go on the other eye and start right off the bat with the powder, with spraying the brush. Okay, so I don't think I have too much on there. Okay, so I was more careful on this side to not bunch up the product. It still does look a little bit cakey right here, but it looks better. It doesn't look bad, I don't think. I don't know. I wanted to show you this shade here. Lemon Soda is kicking up a lot of powder just in the pan itself, which is weird. It's a shimmer, so I don't usually get that with shimmers. I just wanted to show you guys that so you could, you know, you can judge for yourself. Just thought that was interesting. Okay, continuing on with the look, I'm going to take the shade Peach and apply that to the other part of my lid, kind of blend that in with the lemon. So not really showing up at all. There we go. It's showing up a little bit. It's blending in there. Okay, and I tried spraying my brush and now I feel like it's just even thinner than it was before. So why is it doing this? I can't tell if I have a skip line, like if my eyeshadow, I don't think it's patchy. I think it's just the reflect. I mean, my eyelids are kind of wrinkly and then it's such a reflective shadow that it's looking like there's like a patch, but there's not that I can see. I want to try bringing a little bit of peach over the Lemon Soda to see if I can kind of just see what happens. There we go. That's pretty. I'm gonna add some of chai tea in the outer corner. So far I feel like the mattes are blending really nicely. They're not blowing me away with how nice they blend, but they're very workable. And I'm finding that like a stamping motion, almost more than a blending motion, is what's working. With these matte shadows, like even the ones that I put up here, I feel like that's what I ended up doing, stamping rather than blending. This chai tea is the darkest shade in the palette, so this is why I'm using this in the outer corner for like creating the depth. And I did get just a little bit of fallout, not a lot, but with that last shade, the chai tea, I definitely did get a bit of fallout. Okay, I'm gonna stop with the eyes for now. I'm gonna come back to them, of course, and I'm gonna go on to the skin. Okay, for foundation, I'm using the Makeup Revolution Stick Foundation. This is fairly new, I believe. I'm so excited because I love it. This is not a first impressions. I used this the whole week I was in North County, and around then, I have been using the ColourPop No Filter Foundation because I just did a review on that. I will link that if you haven't seen it. I didn't love it, but I'm really happy to come back to this one, so let's jump in. There's something so nice about a stick foundation, and don't be scared about the pores. Like, yes, I have pores. We will fix that though. I just use my Arbonne Mineral powder brush, and I push it right in, and the pores are gone. It's magic. See that? Oh, and it's just so smooth, and it's so easy to apply. It doesn't take much work. It just takes this, you know, a nice dense brush, in my opinion, is what works best, and you just push it into the skin. You know, you've already placed it with the stick, so you don't have to worry about like getting your fingers dirty or getting another brush dirty or anything like that. It's just really easy to get on the skin. Pretty much stays exactly where you put it. And by the way, this isn't pulling or tugging at my skin at all. Oh my gosh, I love this stuff so much. This is cheaper than the ColourPop foundation. I believe this is $9 and that one is $12. I believe this is cheaper than the CoverGirl foundation too, which I recently tried and liked, the Matte Made foundation. Okay, so there it is. My forehead's not done, but my rest of my face is done, and I love how it looks. I love how it's setting already just into the skin. It doesn't look oily or anything like that. Oh my gosh, I love it. Okay, let's finish up here. The only downside is that I am guessing that I'm gonna go through this foundation pretty quickly just because it's a stick foundation. Yeah, that's all I have left. Okay, so that's kind of a big downside. But I love it, and I'm gonna continue to repurchase it. I mean, it's cheaper than like a high-end stick foundation, so there's that. I'm going to speed through concealer because this is the same concealer I used in my last Get Ready With Me, just the Too Faced Born This Way. I'm just going to set my under eyes with the yellow powder from my ABH contour kit. Now to set the rest of my face, I'm using the Becca Hydramist Set and Refresh powder. This is the new powder that's 50% water and glycerin. So again, this isn't a first impressions. I've been using this. The first time I used it, I used way too much and I hated it. But after that, I used just a really little bit. So it has a stopper here that you have to kind of click open, and it says keep me closed to keep me cool. So because it's water, I'm assuming you have to keep it sealed. Otherwise, it's going to dry up and not be the same. So you open it up, and then you have the powder here. And this is actually a net. It's like elastic. And I love that because I don't have to worry about like trying to dump the powder out. I can just push my brush right in there. Oh my gosh, it's so powdery. But I can just stick my brush in there into the powder and get enough out without making a huge mess, which is always a good thing. And now I have it on my, this is just my big Eco Tools powder brush, face brush, I don't know, and then I just dab it on my face and it feels wet, and it's crazy because it looks dry. You can see that it's like setting my skin, but it feels like I'm putting water on my skin. It's crazy. I hope you can see that because it just is unreal. It feels like my brush, like I just washed my brush and I'm like putting it, and I'm using a wet brush, you know what I mean? Like it's just so crazy. But it's setting my foundation, and it's taking that shine off, you know, without making it look too matte, too dry. It doesn't feel too dry. Again, like I said, if you do too much, the first time I used it, I was so like intrigued by the feel of it, that I used way too much in some spots, and it did feel really dry and it did look cakey. But as long as you are aware and you don't use too much, it is perfect. And I have used this a couple of times through the day just to touch up, because it does say that is one of the claims, is that you can touch up your makeup with this and kind of cool yourself off, I guess, because it's so cooling. I mean, I didn't do it to cool myself off, but just to get rid of extra shine, and it did work. It did work very well for that. I don't know how like easy this would be to travel with, because you have to bring the brush and the whole thing. So like, I don't know if I would travel with this for touch-ups, but I mean, it does work. Alright, so there's the powder on, and I feel like my skin just looks still kind of dewy, but not super dewy, but not super matte, not dry, not cakey or powdery at all. And that's what I love about it. It's pretty easy, you know, it's pretty easy, again, to just throw this foundation on and throw that powder on. It doesn't take a lot of work like the ColourPop one did. Now I'm going to bronze up my face with this Morphe face palette. I'm just going to take the shade Debutante and mix it with a little bit of Donut. I think the powder will work really well for people who have dry skin, because it's not drying at all. And I don't have dry skin. I have kind of normal combo skin. Sometimes it's dry, sometimes it's oily. I think it would work if you have dry skin. Somehow it's magically setting the foundation without sucking extra moisture out or feeling dry. Okay, anyways, back to this palette. This palette I really am enjoying. I like the different bronzer shades. I didn't think I would, and I don't think it's really a contour palette. I mean, I'm using this one to contour a little bit, but I would not classify this as a contour palette. I would classify this as a bronzer and highlighter palette. And now something that I'm going to do that I have been doing a little bit is I'm going to take the shade Mirage. Can I show you? Right here. Which is too dark as a highlighter, but I like to mix it in with bronzer and add some shine. Shine, that sounds bad, but add some glow to my face. I really love shimmery bronzers in the summer, and that's kind of what I'm going for here. So on its own, Mirage wouldn't be a bronzer for me. It's not quite deep enough to bronze my face, but mixed in with another bronzer, it has that shine element that I really do like on my forehead. So there's that. And now I'm just feeling creative. I'm going to mix Mirage and Venus, which are these two shades. Kind of highlight with them a little bit. Yeah. I'm going to go into the Glamingo face palette, and I tried this Bronze Goddess yesterday. That will be in my first impressions with the Violet Voss stuff. It didn't work as a bronzer for me. I liked it as a blush though. I think today I'm going to try Flamingo as a blush, and I'm going to try White Sand as a highlighter. Okay, so here's the shade Flamingo. Oh my gosh, it's so bright. Okay. Oh, wow, that is beautiful. Wow. Do you ever, like, when you're applying blush, you hear a voice in your head that says, like, quit while you're ahead, don't add any more, but you just can't listen to it because the blush you're using is so pretty? That's what I'm experiencing right now. Okay, now the highlighter, I'm going to do White Sand. I feel like this might be too light, but I just want to try it. Yeah, that's a little light. Okay, I'm going to mix it with Paradise, a little light. These highlighters are super intense in the Violet Voss palette. Okay, I'm digging that. I'm going to set my face with the CoverGirl Look Lock Up. Okay, to finish up the eyes, I'm going to go ahead and set my under eyes again with a little more yellow powder. I like to do this. I feel like sometimes my under eye, like my lower lash line, is so hard to get shadow to blend out on, and I don't know why, but I'm hoping that by setting it with powder, extra powder, it's going to help. Okay, so taking a pencil brush, I'm going to start kind of the same combo I did on my on the rest of my eye with, I'm going to start with Mango and blend that down here. Okay, this lower lash line is really pretty. This would be a really pretty color with just like a normal neutral eye, or like a more warm brown, more natural eye, and just this pop of yellow under here. It's really pretty. And again, I'm really impressed that the yellow is showing up on my skin tone. It's always a good sign because my skin is darker and my skin is very, very warm. So if you can see the yellow in my skin tone, it's a good sign that it'll probably work for lighter skin tones as well. Okay, now I'm going to take Sweet Tea and blend that. Keep that a little bit closer to the lash line. And these are working really well. I like how I can apply it and it stays where I apply it, but then I can blend it out a little bit too, and it does blend. It's not impossible to blend, so that is cool. Okay, now I'm just going to take a little bit of chai tea and connect that where I have it right here into the lower lash line. Hold on, let me do this eye so you can see. Alright, I'm going to quickly apply my Lorac liner on my waterline and my CoverGirl Peacock Flare Mascara. I'll be right back. Alright guys, my look is complete. My battery died, so I added mascara, and then I also went ahead and did my lips. I just lined them with the Wet n Wild liner in Gone Burgundy, and then I combined 2 of the Wet n Wild glosses. These are from the Flights of Fancy summer collection. I put on Pout of Paradise, this orange shade first over the liner, and then I put a little bit of Featherless on the center to kind of create a gradient. I am loving this lip. Very unique. I mean, combining these all together is not something that I would have like I didn't know how it was going to turn out, but I just kind of combined the colors, and I like how it turned out quite a lot. So I feel like the warmth really goes with the eye look. Okay, so let's review all of the products that I used. The Lemonade palette. I really enjoyed using this palette. I have to say though, Lemon Soda really kind of threw me for a loop. It did not perform the way I expected it to perform. It doesn't perform like any of the shimmers in the Latte palette. It's much more powdery, almost like a drugstore, like a bad drugstore. I don't want to say bad because it's not bad, and I've only tried it this one time, so I can't give you a full review, but it was kind of more like a drugstore eyeshadow that you would expect, like a shimmer. It just didn't quite perform the way I expected it to, but I like the look. And oh, and I did go ahead and add a little bit more of Lemon Soda on my inner corner and really buffed it in. I feel like you do have to really buff this color in. I'm going to keep trying it and for sure let you guys know, like, this isn't my final thoughts or anything, just my final first impressions. That being said though, the shade Peach is really, really beautiful, really shimmery, and I kind of a little bit glittery. Actually, I really like it. And then I love the way these 3 mattes performed. They performed beautifully. They blended into the skin. Like I said, I felt like a stamping motion worked a little bit better than a buffing blending motion, but they worked really well. Chai Tea, the darkest shade in the palette, worked really well as the accent that I have on the outer corner, and I feel like it blended really well, and it is pretty dark. I was kind of afraid it wasn't going to be dark enough to add depth to the look, but I think it is. I mean, it's not black, but I think it is going to be dark enough. I like it, and I like the way the gradient is on the lower lash line. I like everything. I like the way my eye look turned out. So I'm definitely going to have to play around with the pinks and the blue and the green some more. I do want to do 3 looks. Let me know if you want to see 3 looks with this palette, because I definitely want to do that. If I'm not going to do it on YouTube, I'll at least do it for Instagram, so keep your eyes out for that. I really like the combination of the Morphe bronzers and highlighters on my skin. The Glamingo face palette, I'm still deciding. This is only the second time I've used it. I really loved the Flamingo blush, although yesterday I noticed I used Sweet Cheeks and it was completely gone by the end of the day. So I'm going to have to keep an eye out and see how Flamingo lasts on my skin, see if it lasts, because it's such a pretty shade right now, but if it disappears, then, you know, that's not good. White Sand is really, really light, and Paradise was even a little light, so I gotta try those highlighters out again some more, but I like the look I have going on right now. I'm digging it, so that's good. Again, the Becca Hydramist powder. I love this powder. I highly recommend it if you haven't tried it yet, especially if you have dry skin. I think this could be a game changer for you if you struggle with dry skin and you struggle being able to use powders because they feel too dry or they look too dry, whatever it is. I feel like this could be a game changer for you. So, you know, I like a lot of powders. I like the Becca, the Golden Hour, whatever that one was called. Here it is. The Soft Light Blurring Powder. I like this one a lot, but if you don't like powders in general, I don't know that this one's going to be especially special for you, but if you don't like powders in general, I do think you should give this one a try. So I think I've raved about it enough. You get what I'm saying, but I really do like this powder. Really impressed with it. Another one I gotta rave about is the foundation. I love the way that it looks. I love the way that it lasts. I love the way that it sits on my skin. It is really creamy. The downside is just gonna be that the product itself is gonna run out pretty quickly. I already am probably half, well, let's see. Oh my gosh. Can you see that? Like, I'm literally over half done with this product already, and I've been using it for like maybe 3 weeks. So I guess it's not that bad, but I'm going to be using this up sooner than later, and I'm going to be repurchasing it because I love this foundation. Okay, I think that's everything that I wanted to talk about in this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. That helps me out a lot, and I do appreciate that. Let me know what looks you want to see. Let me know what you'd like to see with any of these other products, and make sure you're subscribed with the notification bell turned on so that you don't miss any of my videos. I know YouTube is giving everyone such a hard time lately, so the more that you are connected with me, not only on YouTube, but on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, all of those, it's very, very helpful for me to get all of my information out to you guys. So I appreciate that. Okay guys, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you guys, and I'll talk to you again real soon. Bye.